Rebecca is crying in her bed as she thinks about her situation and how Evan has made it clear that he's only interested in her because of her eye powers. He tried to grab it to get a better score at EMS, but she hid his hands away. The noble says that her family decided that they should get married so that her father could be the head of all three great houses. Evan agreed to work with them because of this. He tells her that if she doesn't follow the rules, her little sister's life could be in danger. When her eye starts to bleed, the flashback ends. As she continues to cry, her powers suddenly take her to the Far East War. She watches as a young Ray tries to save Howard, but Ainsworth gives him the Will Smith treatment so that Ray will accept that Howard is dead and keep going with the mission. Since the battle was still going on the next morning, Rebecca and a few other people go through a huge stack of documents that need to be approved for the school's cultural festival to happen. She looks at Ray as she tries to figure out what her vision of his past means. When Sarah asks Ray to meet her outside in the garden, she breaks the silence. When he goes outside, Maria greets him and tells him she's Rebecca's little sister, but he's already met her when he was dressed as Lily. Ray is just a RIS demon because he starts to say so many nice things about her beauty that he uses her feelings of insecurity as the basis for his song. Even though Sarah has already told her about his charm, this makes her blush. They are also friends, which is why Maria is able to talk to Ray. Ray thinks that she wants to talk to him about what's going on with Rebecca. Maria is the youngest in her family, and people always compare her to her older sister. She isn't as skilled as Rebecca, but her older sister has always been there for her when things got hard. So she feels she has to help her as well. Ray takes Maria's hand and says he will do everything he can to protect her. He also says that the fact that she cares about her sister shows that her heart is pure and beautiful. This makes her cry a little bit as she puts her face on Ray's chest while Rebecca watches. That night, she leaves. She has trouble sleeping because she keeps thinking about why Maria would be in Ray's arms. She knows Ray doesn't realize how he makes girls feel, so she tries to forget what she saw. In the boys' dorm, Evie is wondering if Ray is going to go to bed and wants to know what he's reading. He tells his roommate about the love story and suggests that she read it too. Since the author is good at showing how different people feel, Evie doesn't want to read it. He says that their textbooks are hard enough for him. As the days go by, the class continues to put the finishing touches on their maid cafe. Ray still helps the student council duo as they work through the documents one night while Ray sleeps. They practice their customer service and taste the food that will be served. He has a dream about Howard's funeral as he tries to comfort a young Carlo who is sad. Ray gets a call from Rebecca in his dream. When he answers, he turns to his grown-up self, and Rebecca asks him who he really is. He thinks for a moment before telling her, but the thunder and loud rain drown out his voice. So he can't talk to her. He wakes up, he starts to sweat and wonders if it was all a dream, but his right eye starts to bleed the next morning, so he washes his face and goes for a run, where he sees Rebecca taking care of the flowers. Both of them stop doing what they're doing and sit down to talk. She says that the cultural festival will start that day. Ray admits that he has never done anything like this before, so he is very excited. She gives him a worried look, so he calls out to her to get her to tell him what's on her mind. She starts to ask if he was in the Far East War, but she can't finish her question. Instead, she apologizes and wishes him luck at his first festival. Later that day, colored smoke explodes above the academy to mark the start of the festival, and students from all the Sorcerer academies gather. Ariane and her little sister Tiana arrive, excited for all the fun they're going to have, and head inside. Maria walks through the hallways to look for Amelia. She stops when she sees a poster for the May Cafe. Amelia and Elisa serve Ariane and her little sister their food and use condiments to make a love heart, before singing and dancing in a cute way. Ariane looks around and doesn't see Ray, so she wonders where he is. Then it dawns on her that he might be dressed as Lily White, and she's right. When Ray walks down the hallway in his maid outfit, the other students applaud. Everyone's heart skips a beat when the guy strikes a pose. Ariane can't believe what she's seeing because she knows his secret, but Tiana waves politely to her friend. Ray is sure that he's a pro-maid because he's done his research. Two other students are walking through a scary part of the school and are afraid that Clarice will push them over the edge when she comes out of the water. Well, this scared them so much because it was a ghost that the girl picked up the guy as they ran away. Even though she likes scaring people, she is pretty lonely because she hides in a remote area. The next day, Abby and Carol were her teachers. Look around the academy. When Leia says she misses all the fun, she was planning to use this as a chance to mess with Rey. During that time, Maria goes to the May Cafe to see if Lily is there. She has no idea that it's Rey serving her the food and doing a dance that makes everyone's nose bleed. Even Amelia gives up and admits she's no good as a maid. Abby and Albert are a little confused, but they find it all very interesting. Tiana is impressed by his skills, but Ariane is scared that she came to such a place. After all, Rey changes back to his regular clothes as he walks with Rebecca. She looks at him and gets a little red in the face. Sarah suggested that she go to the festival with Rey so that she could also have fun. He sees that she looks a little nervous and asks, "Is everything okay?" She hesitates for a second and then grabs his arms. The two have fun looking at all the different booths. They walk together in this open area, and Clarice jumps out to scare them. Rebecca gets a little scared, but Rey puts her at ease by telling her it's just a ghost, since he knows it's Clarice and they've already gotten rid of her. As soon as a threat starts to bother her, they go to most of the sites. Rebecca thanks Rey for spending time with her in a formal way, and he says he has to go as he walks away. She calls him and tells him about the fireworks show that will end the festival the next day, but she's afraid to ask and go with her, so she just apologizes again and rushes into the room later that night. Maria goes home while looking at the pictures she took with Rey dressed as Lily. Someone with white hair, like her, is standing in her way. The strange woman tells Maria that if things keep going the way they are, her older sister is going to die. The news makes her so sad that she drops her painting at the same time. Rey also finds out about this. When he is called by his senior teammates, Ainsworth tells him to calm down because if they do nothing, she will die. Since he is around, there is still time to save her. They are likely to be able to avoid this. Rebecca's father comes in and begs Rey to save his daughter as the Iceblade sorcerer. After the meeting, Rey goes back to his dorm and can tell something is wrong, so he tells his roommate he's there for him. Even the rest of their group of friends are willing to help if he needs it. In the meantime, Evan and Para are getting ready for the next few days because they expect Rebecca to wake up. Para doesn't care about any of that, but he's happy to be back in her home as long as he can eat the Iceblade. Rebecca sits on her bed and cries again as she sees scenes from the future and her eyes bleed. Maria sits outside. Rey goes for another run the next morning and is stopped by Rebecca, who is waiting for him. She had heard Rebecca crying in pain in her sister's room the night before. She also knows her time is almost up, so she begs him to take care of her younger sister. She sends a request saying that she will not be able to visit her because she has a commitment. Ainsworth joins the principal and Carol as they get ready to go somewhere. Often, he can only look at her in shock as she thanks him and walks away. The last day of the festival has come, so Rey dresses up one last time to put on a good show. He sees that Maria has returned, but she's not as lively as she was before. Instead, she asks Rey for courage, which surprises him. Before she leaves, he tries to make her feel better. Amelia tries to talk to him, but she can tell he is serious. He tells his friends he has to go and then takes off without saying why, which worries them outside. Evan stands in her way as she walks through a quiet place. He teleports her to the training area before she can say anything. He tells her that they will break her while they build a wall. While the show is getting ready to start, Para has gathered some monsters. Rey is already there, and the monsters are shooting fireballs at him, but he dodges them and kills the first wave with ease. He sees that they have a lot of people and wonders how far he can get with just his base strength. Some of the enemies with hoods attack him, but Amelia's butterfly effect stops them. His friends kept up with him and helped him win. With some combo attacks, Para sees that Amelia has a special ability and runs to seal it. But Rey stops the attack just in time. He is told to leave the kids behind and go back to the top. Rey's friends tell him to go on while they take care of the fodder. He gets serious and takes off his maid's clothes. As he leaves, he thanks everyone, but they look at him funny because he's still talking in a female voice. Rebecca can hear the noise and is curious about what is going on. She is surprised when Maria calls to her, but Ray speeds up to save them. What Rebecca's dad said makes him think. He said that the Bradley name is a curse that was put on their family's bloodline, and that an entity called the Cruz shows up in a family member once every few hundred years. This usually leads to a lot of bloodshed. Rebecca was born with that spirit, but Ainsworth says that she hasn't changed into the Cruz yet because she can't even control her own sorcerer's eye. Her father adds that she won't live to be 20 if she can't control her power. He thinks that Rebecca's birth on the Cruz might have caused Maria to be born with albinism. Their dad thinks that Maria is also connected to it. He needs their help because of this. At the end of the flashback, Ray is climbing up the cliff to get to the sisters. That's the end of the episode 11. Rebecca and her sister with Evan when Morse comes and tells him we finally met 10 years ago. Lacey, so Evan turns into Lacey the White. Miss Maria is shocked and Morse gets very angry because he gets very confused when he sees her and he can only think about her and that her mere presence provokes him. So he wants to attack her, so he approaches her and tells her that she did it on purpose. To pretend that she left the Bernstein family floating in the past 10 years, then he attacks her and wants to take Rebecca. But Lacey stands in front of him and tells him that she will not leave her for him. Then she uses her power to eliminate him. Then he finds himself in a strange place alone and gets very angry because they are always one step ahead of him. Finry Lacey talks to Maria that, as long as she is in this place, she made her decision because it is a good opportunity and she is sure that she has a lot of words to say and asks her to leave Ray to deal with this. At this time, Ray comes to them, so this man, whose name is Paratrojo, spoke to him and knew that he knew his name. So he told him that it was an honor for him that he knew his name, and Ray told him that he knew that he was a magician who ate the engrams of other magicians. Paratrojo tries to attack him, but Lissy stops him because she needs her to discuss something important, so Ray asks her who she is, and she tells him that she is Lissy, that she is the magician of fabrication. So Ray knew that she was the one who planned all this, so she answered him that Lydia and the others had a quick idea about the matter already, and she told him that she would be brief in all her words, that she would make Rebecca's temperature is getting too hot. Then she wants him to seal her and that he has experience about the Chronos lock, as he is the only one who can do it since he is in harmony with her. So he remembers Ray when tears fell from his eyes, and she told him that she would use any means necessary to save her, because this is what his contract with Bruno Bradley stipulates. So he asked her if she was afraid or no. She told him that she had her own goal and for that she could not rule out any option. Then they hear voices, so Lacey asks Ray to take care of that annoying clown. So the clown came to Ray and told him that he provoked him a lot. So Ray used his power to unlock the Chronos lock. Then he turned into the magician of the Iceblade, and the clown told him that he would eat every part of it. Then they attacked each other and hit the clown. Ray breaks his sword twice and Ray can handle the sword. We see Lacey went to the place where Evan is located and told him that he could never touch her. So he told her that he no longer cares and does not care about the Eugenis, nor Akasha, nor crows, as long as he can kill her with these two hands. And she told him that it seems that my voice cannot reach you either, so Evan activates the regular Trinity system and injects himself with an injection into his brain. So Lizzie tells him that she knows all this and that it is a forbidden technology that stimulates the brain to enlarge a dark side of humans where the engram grows temporarily and causes excessive fever. So Evan tries to approach her to kill her, so Leslie uses her power and burns him with her fire. Because the destructive factor that she possessed makes his engram is self-destructing, Evan dies, but before his death he says to her, "This is the power of the strongest person." She told him, no, the magician of the Iceblade is much stronger than that, and that Ray White is on a completely different level. You can say that he is in a completely different dimension. And suppose there is a magician who can control the whole world. The only one who can do that is the magician of the Iceblade. He will control the world. We go to Clarice. She says, "I can't take it any longer," said Albert. Even though we couldn't do anything in Kafka's Woodland Exercise, Rose said to him, "This proves how much we have all evolved." Eva said, and he takes credit for Ray. Albert says, "It's true. We wouldn't have gotten here without him. These monsters show them, but Teacher Lydia appears in time and saves them and tells them to apologize. If we are late, Abby said we will take over from here. You deserve the best mark for this." Lydia told them, let's eliminate the last remaining. This girl said these men were everywhere harassers and bugs equally annoying. They attack them, use their strength, and kill them all, and Lydia uses her strength, which is the ice. Blade's Karo told him, you are violent as usual. She said to her, I put the surrounding area into consideration. I see Alyssa crying and dazzled by Lydia's magic and says as Enzer, I am very blessed, and we move on to Ray. Paratrujo says to him, that's all you can do, Iceblade. Ray said to him, come to me with full power. Now, Paratrujo said to him, my original spell that provides the ultimate physical enhancement. Ray attacks me with all his might and falls to the ground, and Rebecca is surprised. Maria told her, this is your fault, it's all, because you couldn't open your mouth and never talk about important things. Paratrujo said to Ray, it is time to eat you now, I will enjoy you, O Iceblade. Ray uses his strength to attack him with a sword and hit him in the leg, telling him, this is very painful. Paratrujo attacks him and beats him, but Ray did not get anything to him, telling him that it is over and he is finally frozen. Ray gets very tired and Rebecca wants to help him, but Maria stops her and tells her that all of this is your fault. She told her, you have no idea what I went through. I suffered so much for you. Rebecca hit her in the face hard and said to her, I hate you. You pretend to be a heroine in a dramatic play. You rebel against our parents and do whatever you like. I hate you. Maria quarreled with her. While she was crying hard when you say that, Rebecca replied, I love you, Maria, but I hate some of your actions. I want to teach you the right things. Then something strange happened to her. The whole place was surrounded by a big, yellow halo, and we don't know what this strange thing is. We go now to Ray and Aiden to talk to him about this dead man who believes that he was seduced by a demon and felt jealous. Then he gave up his humanity. Things are not okay at all, Ray. Go quickly to her and see what happened there. Finally, Ray arrived at Maria and told her to step back and wait a little while and I will act, so he spoke to her calmly and said to her, oh Rebecca, no one is free from conflicts or worries and everyone can make mistakes with his tongue. In a time of anger, but your heart is one of the kindest hearts, Rebecca, so that's why I respect you and your personality and know that Maria loves you very much and cannot do without you. You are one heart in two different bodies, and so Ray finished with the heroes of the curse on Rebecca. How great you are, Ray. This is the father of the two daughters after he learned of the news of his children and that Ray saved them. She now moves to Rebecca and she is talking to Rose about Ray and that he started to get close to her. A bit, then Rose got jealous and started making strange movements that appeared on her face, and Rebecca said to her, I have to thank him for everything he did with me. We will spend the night together. The other one said to her, I also love Ray and spend all the time with him, and I am close to him now. We can see from their facial expressions that they are talking about Ray as if he was the hero of his time, and the two are jealous of each other. All because he is very popular in the country. After a period of discussion and dialogue, Uncle Ray finally showed up. Peace be upon them, and the next morning Ray went to the soil to visit Howard. After so many lives died in the war, I did not find that I had the right to be one of these disciples. So where is my right place? And my mentor was the one who guided me to the right path. I faced many difficulties, and there are also many people who are ready to accept a person like me with them, and just as there are bad people, there are good ones. You know, Howard, I now have a lot of friends. I wish you were with us. We miss you so much. My friend, this is Amelia Rose, the red girl. This is Rebecca with violet eyes. And this is Elsa, the lazy girl, and this is Clarice, the crazy girl, and other friends. Then Ray came back after sitting with his friend for a while. He met Arian and told him, I want you to join me in the Magic's War. Ray was shocked by this sudden offer. Will Ray join in this war, or will he reject this offer? For personal reasons? This is what we will know in the next episode. Before you leave, you preferred, and it is not an order. We ask you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button so that you receive all new things.
お姉ちゃん、白いお姉さん。モルスって名前だったかな。ようやく会えたな。いや、久ずっとお前が心を支配。白いお姉さん。俺はアーカー社に至るんだ。お姉ちゃん。そして俺はことか。本当に。マリア・ブラッドリー、ここにレイ・ホワイトに任せるんだ。お前が東大の評価だね、レイ・ホワイト。あなたはなんだこれ高ぶってきたぜ、最高。ていると思うよ。手短に契約だ。 涼しい。
覚えはあるだろ。手短に話そう。今から覚えはあるだろ
ですね。
私にも目的があってね。覚えはあるだろ。それを君に封印してもらいたい。彼には大事な話がある。彼女を救うためである。いいかい？
涼しい顔で。
彼女と共鳴している君にしか。
愛のすべてを食らい尽くす。リリース。
それのことは脳を。
お前さえこの手でリース。
人間の暗黒面を増長し、
ダークトライアドシステム。
プリママテリエンコーディまず増長し、エングラムを一時的に
殺せれば。
私の声。
なんだこの
プリマを支配できる魔術師がいるとしよう。違う。世界を支配できる魔術師がいるとしよう。
虚構の魔術師の力。
狂犬の魔術師がこの世界を支配できる魔術師がいる。
でも足も出なかったが。
それだけみんなそれだけみんな成長したってことね。
森と同じ？だったら他にもいっぱいいてさ。
なんだ。
行くぞ。
ポスト？どういうことね？
ああ、はいはい。ヤマタオオロチ。
ライトニングスラッシュ。
友達に負けないもん。
ラグナロク。
聞いてください。じゃあ相変わらず乱暴者。
お前らが。
はい。
姉さん。るのも私がこんな風になったのも。
なんだまだ。ボディにピカピカマテリアル。
私ずっと我慢するしかないの。これうざいよ。うるさい。大好きだもん。お姉ちゃん
マリ。
ないでよ。
悪魔に見せられ嫉妬し、早く彼女のもとへ。
私
葛藤や悩みを抱えています。人は誰しも。先輩マリアも先輩のことが大好きですよ。葛藤や悩みを抱えています。
無事か。はい。娘は。
いいえ、そんな言われてますし。なるほどなるほど。いいえ、ご謙遜なさらずで。すみません。レイじゃなくて。いいえ、そんな。レイってばモテますし。ええ。
みんな。
レイさん、レイ負けませんよ。モテますし。ええ、それを受け入れ度量はありますから。
お待たせしました。
なんで
になったよ。想像できるかってないって、そう思ってた。あと俺友達ができたよ。今日だった。俺にと
やれやれだな。
アリアーヌ？
あれがお前が見たかったレイの姿だろ。
マギクス王？